Welcome back to the lunch table, everybody. And before we start the podcast, I just want to shout out our sponsor, Papa J's Lambanog Vodka. Now, they've been making Lambanog for about 400 years in the Philippines, and all it takes is just this little old man to climb up the coconut tree and grab the nectar from the tree, distill it, and it's done within 7 days. It's hella good. Check them out, papajs.com. Now, let's get to the podcast. Yay! All right, welcome back to the lunch table, Food for Thought. I'm Nico. Blitz. You already know where to hit that subscribe button, man. And if you're watching this podcast, you might also enjoy the podcast with Ben 10K. Shout out to my next guest. We were at the Grammy party for Empire, and I'm just walking around hella drunk and shit. And I was like, wait, you're the guy who produced the Trapanese joint.
Yes, sir.
Seiji Oda, what's good, bro?
Man, how's it going, bro?
You know, when I saw you, I was like, damn, this motherfucker is actually hella tall. And I kept on looking at you thinking, like, I think that's the guy. I just don't want to be wrong, though.
Yeah, I feel you. No, people don't think, I feel like people don't think I'm tall. Like, they always meet me and they're like, oh, you're hella tall. I don't, because I'm skinny or some shit. People are like, you know.
You probably used to hoop, huh?
I was on JV in high school, but I wasn't nice like that.
I capped out after JV ball, too.
Yeah.
But, bro, like, you know, you guys, you and your little brother, Lil Ricefield, made a very iconic song. I remember, I think I was just on YouTube and it randomly popped up. And immediately when the music video started, it was like this grayscaled, old school looking like Asian movie. And then you guys just went full force with like the anime throughout the entire thing. And I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. Come to find out that this song,
Mario, bro.
dude, and come to find out that this song was like, what, maybe a year old at that point?
It was like 2 years. We made that in like 2017, and we put it out on SoundCloud, and it was just sitting on SoundCloud for maybe like a year, and then people were like started catching some momentum, and then we put it on Spotify, and that's when it really started going up. So yeah, it was like, it's an old song, but people who see the video don't really know unless they know us from back then.
Well, yeah, I was just talking to my cousin HBL Maddie, and he was talking to me about like, bro, like the song popped off in the Bay before it popped off everywhere else. And I think I also found Lil Ricefield has another song called Ho Ho.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, did you make those songs at the same time? Because it sounded like you made it around the same time.
Similar, yeah. So Ho Ho, I think we recorded his freshman year, and that was like, because he goes to Tech, so like it was kind of just popping just at Tech. People started knowing him off of that. And then Trapanese was maybe like a year and a half after that. And then, my bad, I'm all up in the mic.
You're good, bro. You're good.
Yeah, it was probably about a year and a half. So those songs are both like, kind of just some new shit for me when I was like, okay, let me bring in the Asian shit, but also combine it with that like Bay Area hypey, because I feel like since the beginning of like, Mac Dre and like they always have been using like, weird type of samples like the mafioso beat or something like that. It's just like bringing some different type of flavor into what is already there.
And I think it's cool that you were able to, I guess, integrate Asian culture with hip-hop, because I've never seen it done specifically like how you produce those beats. Because you know what I mean? Like, you can show those beats to anyone who's not Asian, and they'll know exactly, maybe not exactly where it comes from, but they'll know, like, yo, this is really some Asian shit.
Yeah, it's obvious. It's not subtle, bro. It's like, bow. It's like over the head, yeah.
I think I was watching your Genius interview, and you said producing that beat for Trapanese, like, what, you just saw a turtle, and then you just got inspired? or like, were you capping on that?
No, it was true, bro. So we were in Hawaii for my Oji-chan, my grandpa's birthday, and this was my first time out there. We went snorkeling, and I saw this turtle. And apparently you're not supposed to touch them. We found out after, like it's like a federal crime or some shit. But I went up to the turtle and I touched it. Don't come for me.
Don't come for him, Hawaii, man. He don't want the smoke.
I didn't really touch the turtle, but I did though. But anyway, man, I was just feeling real peaceful. And then Nathaniel, we were driving back, and he was like, "Hey, bro," like he started writing some. I think the first line was like the chop and the stick Trapanese line. And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like we could actually go somewhere with that. Just because we were around like our Japanese family at the time, and they were like. It brings back all those memories of us when we were kids, like watching like Doraemon and like them showing us all the animes and like it was there's that influence from like the Japanese side.
Yeah, I can definitely tell, but like just listening to the song over and over again between the references, the Naruto references obviously, and like the Totoro references, I'm just like, yo, like these fools watch a shit ton of anime. and you guys are just so engraved into like this Japanese culture. And you know, me being Filipino, like, you know, I grew up watching a whole bunch of anime, but like as an Asian American, I was just like, yo, like this makes me feel really proud that you guys are able to take all these stereotypes and flip it and really just like own it and make it your own.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I definitely just people who really watch anime probably listen to that song and they're like, oh, they're just talking about the most like basic, you know, Naruto, whatever, like Miyazaki movies. Like my brother Zay, like he's Filipino too, and he really watches anime, like all like the, you know, the niche shit, like the real like shit people don't know about.
Yeah.
So like I just now started getting into more of that like type of stuff because really growing up I just watched, you know, like Naruto. I read some like, you know, I'm trying to remember what that shit is called. I Shield 21. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I mostly read manga. Like, I didn't watch a lot of anime. I mostly read it, but now I'm getting into the more like, you know, shit like old shit like Cowboy Bebop and like stuff
I love
like that.
those. Yeah. I find myself having a little bit more free time right now, and I actually went back and watched some Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, it was like probably a 2 or 3 season shit, and I was like, yo, I can't believe I used up all this time just to do it. But it's kind of cool, like looking back and like, because it was something that I watched when I was a child, you know, and it's kind of cool looking back and seeing like the references and kind of getting like a better understanding of like why you actually like these things growing up.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's like with any type of like anime for me, it's like you have to have like it's always kind of the hero story or like some you know, you identify with that person, like with Goku or like with Naruto. It's like, you know, the underdog coming up or whatever, and you just have that as a kid. You see those type of role models, and it's just like, you know, you can bring that into your real life. I mean, I think for me a lot of the time with producing, like I think of it, okay, how can I level up? How can I like, you know, get better at this or whatever. When I learn like a new technique for doing something, it's like almost like, you know, I'm in an anime leveling up, like trying to get better. So I always try to just think of that type of shit.
Well, it's kind of cool because I think if somebody went to your discography, right, like Seiji Oda, and they listened to your new song like this, they'd probably be a little bit confused, like, oh, like this guy made the Trapanese beat, but then he's over here also making. I wanted to categorize it as kind of like lo-fi hyphy music.
Yeah, bro. No, that's crazy that you say that. Like, cause so many people. That was really my intention with that song, is like to try to combine the lo-fi sound, like real chill, like something you could study to or sleep to or whatever. Like
something at the coffee shop.
Exactly.
You feel me?
But then combine that with like the hyphy energy. Like, I don't know. I think for me as a musician, like, or just in life too, like I love when opposite things, like you bring them together and it still works somehow. So like that to me was like definitely the goal with that song. So I'm glad that you caught that.
Of course, bro. And you know, I think as a producer, I think that also challenges you every day because you know, I haven't heard anybody who's produced a beat like that. You know what I mean? Like how like this is, or even how like the rest of your discography is, because it's kind of like within that same realm. So where do you really draw that inspiration from?
That's a good question. Man, I feel like for me, I find I'm always most like inspired when I go somewhere new, like this, for example. I made when I went to South America, or like the beat. I didn't make the song, but I made the beat for Arrow when I was out there too, and like Trapanese, like I made the beat when I was in Hawaii. So I feel like when you come to a new place, like you are, you know, you're in a new environment, and I feel like you're not stuck in the same old routine of making the same type of shit. Like you see new things, you're just in a different mindset. So then you can kind of come up with different ideas than you normally would. So that's what I.
So then you must have been like really at peace going to South America and then making all these lo-fi beats, bro.
I was out there meditating and shit, bro. Just like, yeah, shit was cool.
So you must be traveling a lot. Is it usually like you and your family always traveling?
So that trip with my dad was like the first time I've been out there, and then I went to study abroad in Argentina and Chile when I was like my 3rd year. So
What
like
the
last
hell?
year, yeah.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, so my mom's side of the family, like a lot of them are Panamanian, so like they speak Spanish and everything. And I didn't grow up. Even my mom speaks Spanish, but I didn't grow up speaking Spanish with her. Like, you know, my aunts and my mom would say something in Spanish if they didn't want me and my brothers to understand.
That's hella funny. Hella talking shit in the same
real,
room.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh, damn it, I want to know what they say. So that's why I've always wanted to learn Spanish.
Okay.
So I could, I mean, not only understand what they're talking shit about, but also just like I can talk to all of my relatives. Like if I go to Panama, I can talk to them in their language. So still working on that, but you know.
So you're Panamanian and Japanese, and then your brother is Filipino and Japanese.
Oh, so Zay is Filipino and black, and then Nathaniel or Ricefield, my bad.
Yeah.
He's the same as me, Japanese and Panamanian and white too.
Oh,
Like
so
Irish.
Zay's also your brother.
He's my, that's my brother.
He's your
but
brother. He's your
that's my
brother. He's your
yeah,
brother.
yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
Yeah. That's we like went to high school together and all that shit. So
Yeah, you guys make a really cool combination. I enjoyed hearing his voice on your beats, and I'm just like, yo, he has like one of those very distinct voices. Shout out to Zay, man.
yeah, man, Zay, Z with an accent over the E, Zay.
Shout out to Zay.
Yeah.
So then, but you and Ricefield are definitely like, you guys are like blood related, right?
Yeah.
So then in that household, like, were any of you musically inclined, or was it really just you and your brother?
Nah, we grew up in a very like musical family. Like my dad, I mean, it's not really what you would directly I think affected us in terms of where we wanted to go with our music. But like my dad like was an opera singer back in the day.
That's hella dope.
He like started a cappella groups and shit. Like so he's like a voice teacher, and he really he actually I think he studied like music recording when he was in school, but I didn't know that for the longest time. And then I was trying to make beats on my old computer with my like fucking Apple Beats headphone recording my mic or whatever the fuck. And then my dad, after like a year of this, my dad comes. He's like, "Oh yeah, like I actually have all this like recording equipment if you want to use it." And I'm like, "Bro." Like,
oh shit. He's like, "Come on, bro. You see me struggling for years now. You
Exactly.
you just want to give it to me now?"
Yeah. But my mom, she sings too. All my siblings, and then like some of my siblings did like some musical theater when we were kids and shit like that. So we definitely grew up just like performing and singing, but it was kind of like more I think when I went to like middle school and high school and I got exposed to different types of music that I was like, oh, like this is really what I like connect with and type of shit that I want to make. So
who are you connecting with like musically growing up?
Man, I would say who was the kind of the first like hip hop artist I started listening to? Probably like middle school was like Soulja Boy, like
hell yeah, bro.
I would say just being from the Bay, like Lil B is a big, not even just in terms of like music, but just as like a, as
his
an
energy,
icon, his energy and like a philosopher, bro. Like he's just, I would say like.
Well, you guys have a whole ass song kind of based around him.
Yeah, exactly. Red bass students, he's the bass god, the bass sensei. So I feel like people don't give Lil B the credit that he really, no matter what, like in terms of his like political antics or not political but public antics, like he's always has been so influential to like just so many different types of hip hop, like SoundCloud rap, all that shit. Like I feel like has stemmed from the shit that he was doing way back in the day. So like loud ad libs, freestyling shit.
Well, even like kind of rapping off beat too, because I remember hearing him on like some Pac songs, and I'm just like, this fool isn't rapping on beat at all, but the shit makes sense. There's one song that sticks out to me. I think it was like In My Car. I think Lil B was rapping on In My Car, and I'm just like, bruh, this fool is just
he's just talking
all over
shit,
the place.
Bro,
He's just talking shit. But then even in that, like, that's where you get like the SOBRBEs and like the Blue Faces of the world who can kind of just fit in these like random pockets of the beat, and it still kind of makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Shout out to Lil B, man.
That's
why,
B.
like seeing as how you guys made bass students, I felt like you guys were from Berkeley, but you guys are from Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what was it like for you guys growing up in Oakland?
It was interesting. Like I said before, like for me, I feel like a lot of my, as I'm Japanese, I'm Panamanian, like all my life growing up, like it was always like I'm in two different worlds, like, cause on one hand, like I grew up, me and my brother, like up until like high school, we lived in Fruitvale, like on 37th and East 14th, like right next to the BART station, and then we went to school in North Oakland, but it wasn't like we were really like out, in the East like that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So like, I'm never gonna be like, yeah, like I'm from Oakland, all this like affiliated with whatever. Like I definitely was not like a part of like any type of like gangbanging shit or anything like but yeah, it was what am I trying to say? Just like different, being part of different, cuz my mom's side, like her side of the family is like, Panamanian and white, so like I was part of that. But then at the same time, like, going to school in Oakland and seeing all the different types of shit that there is, like it's just so much diversity. So
yeah,
you feel me? It's just.
Did you?
Shit.
So like, Oakland's like probably the mecca of culture for the Bay Area, right? And you got like so many different like subgroups in there, but you're probably one of the few people who I know who are from like Asian descent who is from Oakland, right? And considering that you are Panama and also Japanese living in Oakland, did you ever have like this sense of like, I don't know, like searching for identity at some point?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of Asians in Oakland for sure. Like the Cambodians, bro. Like there's a lot of um, Filipinos. Of course, Chinese people in Chinatown. But I think definitely because Fruitvale is mainly Latinos, but mainly Mexican people. So I would say like growing up around that, and then going to a school like I went to school at a charter school where it was like just all different types of people. So I was like I never really knew where I fit in, but at the same time, I feel like at home like my dad showed us so much of our Japanese culture that I was like I felt like I was comfortable in that. Like I've always been I'm half Japanese and only like a little bit Panamanian, so I feel like I'm always like someone asking me what ethnicity I'm like, okay, I'm Japanese first. Like that's the culture that I know the most and like the one that I probably experienced the most. But I feel like I still want to, on my mom's side, understand like the Panamanian side, even like she's Irish and Jewish side. Like,
oh wow,
you feel me? It's, like, understanding that and like, I feel like as a mixed person, you kind of get the best of both worlds because you get to experience this culture and see what values they have or like. People never really know what you are, or they can try to assume, but they're like, "Oh shit, what?"
Yeah.
So I like that not being able to been like put into a box. People see me or know me or whatever.
I always feel like, have you watched the South Park episode where they're just probably in year like 3,000 or 5,000? So basically, like, I feel like we're gonna end up getting to this point where everyone just looks the same, and we all just like mix our breeds to the point where it's just like, yeah, we're all the same people at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it's slowly creeping to that point because I could look at you and just be like, yeah, this guy's like some sort of Asian, Japanese, but never really assume that like you have like Panama blood in you.
Yeah, it was some shit. I think it was National Geographic like hell long ago where they had like it was like 2050 and it was some like mixed person that was like all different races or something. And I mean, obviously 2050, like we're still gonna be alive. Like not everyone's gonna live like that, but I think it's true. Like, hopefully at some point, like we all just look. Not look the same, but everyone is so mixed that it's just.
That's just like we don't even care about that anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
So then, when do you go full force in just producing?
When did I?
Yeah.
Probably freshman year of high school was when I started, and then I think when I got serious about it was like midway through high school, or like, I first got introduced to it. One of Zay's friends, Benji, who he was making beats on I think Fruity Loops like way back in the day, and I was like, damn, like I want to do that. So I started out on Fruity Loops, and then I moved to Logic like a couple years after, and I've been working at Logic since then. I felt like when I got really serious about it, or even like just kind of a turning point, was like when the Trapanese shit was definitely like, damn, okay, now I really have to go into like full grind mode and like get this shit, because having that song, having it go on Genius, all that is like, this is really happening. You know what I mean? And now I can't.
There's no turning back.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's serious now. But I would say, yeah, like back in high school, like I think I was just kind of doing it for fun. But Zay, he was like, he had a vision. He was like, yo, we can really do this. Like this is, So once I started working with him, I feel like that was kind of when I got serious about it and was like, okay, we can really make this.
That's what's up.
Make it happen. But yeah.
And I'm sure you guys never really anticipated Trapanese to be what it is today.
Definitely not. No, we were just fucking, I don't even know. We were fucking around. We didn't even think we were going to release it when we were writing that shit. So it's pretty crazy. I feel like that's why people like the song, because it's got that kind of, fun, like not too serious. That's the thing about Ricefield is that he doesn't take the music shit too seriously. Like, I mean, me and Zay have been doing it for longer, and he just kind of started more recently. But like, it's that kind of like not taking yourself too seriously that I think people really connect with, because it's like, okay, you can make a video with you in a ramen shop, like putting in a magical item and like doing whatever the fuck, or sword fighting with a little kid, and not trying to be too like, oh, I'm this or that or whatever. Like just being able to make fun of yourself and be like a real person, I think is what people fuck with.
Yeah, man, I think that's what gets people to know like the real you more. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that you guys enjoy everything that you enjoy, like that was displayed on that video. I do gotta ask though, like, who came up for the treatment for that video? Because it seemed like there was so much going on, but it all made sense.
Yeah, I could shout out Seth and Arya, bro. Seth, the Domaney brothers. They're two young, videographers from Oakland. One of them's still in high school, and they're just like crazy. Like
Really?
yeah,
That's crazy.
Seth and Arya. The initial kind of like idea for it was kind of all of us. Like we just were like, okay, how can we come up with this storyline for like having the magical item and like him being transformed? I think the original idea was like I make him a bowl of ramen and he eats. I put some special sauce in it, but then we saw Kenny Beats did that in the video before, so we had to switch it up and we were like, okay, how can we still do that type of like magic, whatever?
Let's give him a grill.
Exactly, yeah. I thought it was fitting, and then once we gave them that basic idea, they kind of just took it and ran with it. Did the whole like, okay, storyline. We're gonna be in these different universes and like it's gonna transform you from whatever the fuck into like anime world. They went crazy on that video. Shout out to Seth and Arya.
So then I gotta ask, because I think literally just this morning I ended up watching your music video to base students, and then I think in the first scene it continues, from that grayscale, like your boy Ricefield's like leaving the ramen shop, right?
Yeah.
And then he's actually in school, and then somebody else is putting on the grill.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he kind of just like dissipates into thin air.
Yeah.
Was he like, what was the idea behind that? Was he just like not worthy of like everything that the grill was supposed to give off?
No, so the thing is, the grill, so the Trapanese video, right? Like he puts the grill and he disappears into a different dimension.
Yeah.
Or which is, the Ricefield dimension with a dinosaur, or like the anime multiverse dimension. But like, so pretty much like after, Ricefield learns what he can do with the grill, he goes back to school. Like he was on his lunch break or whatever during the during the Trapanese video. He comes back and then he gives the grill to this kid, because he knows when the kid puts the grill in it, he's going to disappear into a different dimension. So the kid disappears, and then Nathaniel takes his clothes and puts them on. If you look closely, you can see him wearing the kid's clothes in the next video, in the next like scene or whatever. And then at the end of the video, you see Ben, who's actually one of our mentors. Shout out to Ben, bro, because he really like, we didn't have a person for that role, and he was like, all right, bro, I'm just going to step in and do it. So manager of the year for that one, bro. Thank you, Ben.
Shout out to Ben.
Shout out to Ben, bro. Real one. Ben Senseless.
But Ben was basically naked on the road as you guys were driving off.
Because he whatever disappeared, and then he reappears, but like his clothes have been taken. So he was just basically, Nathaniel gave him the grill to just like hit a lick on him and steal his clothes.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, it was just, that was like idea we came up with, just to kind of like continue the next video is going to be like a continuation of that one. So it's kind of trying to create like a little anime series for
because then I ended up peeping in the description, and I guess you guys are calling it the Ricefield saga.
Oh, yeah. We were just catting off. Yeah, but that's what we're trying to do, is like, I think that a lot of people that connect with that song are people that watch anime, so we want to try to make it something like that. So
bro, you guys are fucking killing it right now, man, because I've never seen like I think the last time I saw something very similar to this was Childish Gambino, when he released because he was just releasing like a stream of like music videos that kind of like intertwined with each other. But to bring it back to you guys, it's like I've never seen a string of music videos that is also like an anime story. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's like anime takes so long just to release like the next season and shit. Yeah, so it's like I'm excited to see what you guys do with part 3.
Mm-hmm. Man, we just Ben actually came up with the idea, so it's gonna be crazy. I'm just gonna say that it's gonna be crazy.
When do you guys think you're gonna drop? Like, do you guys have like a song ready for part 3?
Yeah, so it's not fully done, but I'm driving back to the Bay tomorrow. Gonna link with Nathaniel. We're gonna get like an Airbnb somewhere out the way, and just try to finish he has like a whole project that he's working on. So,
oh wow.
I don't know if he's gonna drop them as singles, like, or as a whole project, but pretty much he has like I would say at least 5 new songs that are going to be coming out, and one of the ones will be that part 3, and then like after that will be like the rest of the project.
I feel like Ho Ho kind of has to like attach itself to that project too. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's just me.
It could be on there, and I think about it because I think it fits that same thing. But the thing is, that song is so old that it's really just kind of like, I think people like that song for what it is, but I think he wants to kind of move on to some newer. More like, because he was he was like 15 when we recorded that song, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, man. He wants to, I think, kind of make some new shit, and
kind of
redefine what his sound is.
Because I think at this point, both for you and Ricefield, I think it's gonna get to a point where you're gonna have to detach yourself from, Trapanese.
Oh yeah,
Because you guys, you know what I mean. It's kind of like coming out the gates with a hit single. I would consider it a really fucking like. I mean, it didn't go like gold or platinum or whatever, but I would consider it like one of the motherfucking bangers from like last year. You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah, no, that's. I mean, that was his like, that's his like, that's his foot in the door. You know what I mean? And I feel like now, as Asian artists, I think for him and me and for Zay too, like we want our Asian identity to be a big part of who we are as artists, but not the defining part. You feel me? I don't want it to just be the only thing because we can't.
Yeah,
it can't just be Trapanese. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want it to be any type of like gimmick or like we just do the same thing every time. Like I want to be like the greatest artist who is also Asian, but not like this is this dude who's just doing like Asian shit all the time.
Yeah,
I guess play it out. Yeah,
I guess at that point you don't want to have that like asterisk on you. I think it's the same way people look at like female artists, and then female artists just want to be like, just label me as an artist.
Facts, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
And to tie it all back, it's kind of like like we understand you're Japanese, but then you don't have to push yourself as a Japanese artist every single time.
Exactly. Now, I mean that's a big thing. I feel like I saw some shit on Twitter, like someone was like, oh yeah, like when you think about someone like Nicki Minaj or Doja Cat or whoever, it's like they're always like, okay, who's the best female rapper? But it's like a lot of them are really going harder than everyone else. So it's like it's just label them as what they are as a rapper, and then like accept them from there, like regardless of who they are, what it is. So.
All right, y'all. So long story short, I was DJing at the club the other night, and they were passing out free bottles. As soon as I took a shot of this drink, I turned back to the guy and said, "What is this?" He said it's Papa J's Lambanog straight from the Philippines. I'm talking about I had a couple of these shots throughout the night, and I was feeling hella good by the time I was done DJing. I didn't even have a stank face with any single shot that I took. Now, if you go to papajs.com right now and use the promo code LUNCH, you'll get $25 off delivery and have Papa J's directly onto your doorstep. Yay! I gotta ask you this, like, has 88 Rising tapped in with you guys?
That's crazy because people in the comments and like all of our videos are always like, oh, like y'all gotta tap in with 88 Rising, or like 88 Rising's like y'all gotta collab with Joji or whatever other artists, and like not
Rice Gum, everybody.
Fucking Rice Gum, bro. I feel like definitely. I don't know. Somebody said, like, oh, this is what Rice Gum thinks he sounds like.
Yeah, bro. Those comments were going in on Rice Gum, man.
That shit's hella funny. But I got no hate for him, bro. Like, he's making money. I can't hate on him. But
yeah, 88 hasn't tapped in with you guys, or what?
No, we actually, I think, we tried to tap in with them a while ago, but I guess they weren't fucking with us. So, well, I think I like what they're doing, but at the same time, like, I don't want to have the. Like I said, bro, like I don't want to have the Asian part be like the defining aspect of my, thing. I feel like sometimes with people like Higher Brothers, it can be like, this is an Asian artist coming into hip hop versus like just, someone who's a hip hop artist and is also Asian. It's like what is the initial thing that you know about them? You feel me? So,
I get you, because I think even still to this day, like Stupid Young still gets you're an Asian rapper.
Oh yeah,
type thing,
Yeah.
But it's like I think we're slowly creeping out of that point and being like, no, Stupid Young's just a rapper from Long Beach.
Yeah, his shit slaps, bro. I mean, he got songs with Mozzie and like everybody. So yeah, I fuck with Stupid Young.
All right, Seiji Oda, man. Like, so you just dropped your single Like This. Can we expect like a project from you personally this year?
Yeah, I'm thinking about. I'm working on an EP right now. I think it's gonna be called Blue. And hopefully, if I get all the deadlines and everything set out, it'll be February 28th or 27th.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Okay.
like the
why Blue?
Blue because a lot of the songs on there, like I mean, if you listen to Like This, that's just kind of the energy. Like if you listen to the song, that's what I
Lo-fi,
I see
hi-fi.
that color. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's gonna be it's definitely gonna be more chill. I would say for people that only listen to Trapanese or other songs of mine, but I think it's where I want to go with my sound.
Okay.
Definitely. So.
Hey man, that lane is wide open. Let me tell you that, and you're the only one in that lane right now.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, Seiji, at this point, we're just going to go through like a quick round of like just a couple questions. You just answer it to the best of your ability.
All right. Sure.
So, we're obviously at the lunch table, man. So, what's your favorite lunch?
I got a bagel in my backpack right now that I'm about to eat.
All right.
But I don't know. Favorite food for me, I really like blueberries. You know,
just blueberries.
Just straight up blueberries. If I could eat just blueberries for the rest of my life and like not be deficient in any type of nutrients, I would definitely just eat blueberries every day for every meal.
Shout out to the blueberries of the world, man.
Berries
and cream. You feel me?
Yeah.
We're staying away from the coronavirus 2020.
Oh yeah, bro. Fuck that, bro.
Who's like your dream collaboration for like a rapper and producer?
Like just if I was to pair two producers, or just who I would want to work
with? Who you would want to work with?
Okay. Rapper. Oh, I mean, I think she counts, but Erykah Badu. She
there
raps
we go.
too.
All right.
Her music to me is like, if I could listen to one album for the rest of my life, it would definitely be Mama's Gun. That shit is just like,
man, there you fucking go, man. I don't even hear that anymore.
Yeah,
good shit.
And then producer, I would say probably Monte Booker, because his sound is just so unique, and I just want to kind of like understand his process and shit and see how it works.
What's one random music fact about you that people may not know?
I played bass guitar in a band when I was in middle school.
Okay.
I had to relearn how to sing after I broke my neck.
How'd you break your neck?
I went snowboarding for the first time. I tried to do too much. I was like, I thought I was Shaun White. I was like, tried to go off a jump, and it was all bad.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, but no, it was
How
crazy.
long were you hospitalized?
It wasn't very long, but like, so pretty much in the surgery, like they had to move my vocal cords, like not move them, but like cut some of the muscles to get to whatever the fuck.
That's crazy.
So like when I came out, like I would sing a note and a different note would come out, and I was like, what the fuck? So like I just kind of had to like learn how to sing a different, you know what I mean?
Is that still affecting you to this day?
I would say, I don't know if I still want to every day like get better at singing, but yeah, I think like it took me a second to kind of just readjust to like where I was putting the notes at in my voice.
It's like you're trying to go hella high and it's still hella low for some reason. Like, damn, how much?
It was just like I would be trying to go and it'll be like I'm just like, what the fuck? It's like if you were trying to you're seeing like through some glasses and you take the glasses off, like you wear you put some red glasses on for a whole day, you take them off, you just see hella blue, and it changes your whole perception of shit. And I was like, damn, how do I,
that alone makes me appreciate your artistry a lot more, because you have to go through that trial every single day when you record.
Oh,
especially when
no,
you're
I mean, I
think
at this point it's not like I'm having to do that every day, but it's just like that was like a couple. It was like recovery time was like 3 months or so. So throughout that time, I was kind of just practicing, trying to sing again. Everything. So, I'm big auto-tune in the booth right now. So I want to get to a point where I can perform live and like do songs just with no auto-tune and just really be able to sing like that, which I got to tap in with my dad, bro. Get the vocal lessons.
Yeah, man.
My
get that opera on, you feel me? I know you just opened up for Rex Life Raj yesterday, but do you have any more performances coming up for the rest of the year?
Not lined up right now. We do a show every like the beginning of each year, or not beginning, but it'll be like once a year type thing. It's called Flexicon. We do it in Oakland. So whenever that is in the next year, it'll be sometime. But I know we want to try to put together like a little tour, maybe just in California or something for the summertime.
There we go, man.
But yeah.
Seiji Oda, happy to have you on the lunch table, bro.
Thank you, man.
Where can everybody find you?
SEIJIODA on everything. Just Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that. Just SEIJIODA. Seiji Oda, yeah.
It's Seiji, baby, and this
it's
is
Seiji,
the lunch
baby.
table.
Yes, sir.
Food for thought. I'm Nico
Shout out to
Blitz.
Nico, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.